Kev, you familiar with the Racketeer Influenced and Corrupt Organizations Act, RICO?
Yes.
It states that if a group of people are working toward a common criminal goal, and the commission of that crime by an underling, not necessarily by the hand of the one above them who might have been calling for it, you are able to actually charge all involved, whether your hand was involved with that or not. Typically used to combat organized crime. I want to say 70s maybe this came along, 70s, maybe early 80s.
It was huge. They have I don't know if it's called the RICO Act, but I know they have the same thing in Canada because that's how they ended up um, taking care of in Montreal the bikers and then the mob. So if you were a member of an organized crime family or a member of a bikers group, if you were if a biker in that just say he was an outlaw and he committed a crime, then everybody in the outlaws could be charged for that crime.
Right. If you're all working toward that goal. So if
Right.
Kevin has an issue with the steak, and I go ahead and I act on his behalf and do something criminally to avenge the flawed outing at the steakhouse, Kevin, as my superior, could be charged with that as well. So basically, follows the crime all the way up to the top of the pyramid, whether you're talking about.
But there is no crime if you don't tip.
Right. And the dollar would have been sufficient. Gotti, Vincent the Chin Gigante of the Genovese, many guys were subject to and convicted by RICO after the failure to ever pin anything on a mob boss. They're never going to do shit. When they're on the top of the food chain, they're not going to do shit with their own gun in their own hand. But RICO changed it and allowed criminal activity below them, if they could prove it was to serve the benefit of their knowing superior, they could be charged with it also.
Have you been watching a lot of the coverage on with Trump's lawyers on television?
Well, as it relates to Georgia, are we talking about? Because that's why I was bringing up RICO.
Yeah, no, I know.
Oh, they're all over the place. Anyone that's serving as an attorney in any capacity is talking on every talk show.
Well, I'm talking about Trump's lead. These are his lead.
Yes.
Defense guys.
Yeah. And they were told not to talk by one of the judges.
But their whole thing is it's his First Amendment right to be able to speak on all these different things.
Well, that's of course not true.
Well, of course. I mean, it's nobody has the First Amendment right doesn't give you the right to ask somebody to find 11,875. I just don't see it when that came out. I said, there's a lot of things you can backtrack, but asking for one more vote than you got beat by to the person that's in charge of that, I don't see how how you walk that back.
Yeah.
Kidding?
Criminal activity isn't free speech, of course.
No.
And so it will be interesting to see if RICO is used against a politician for the first time. First time that I know of. Maybe it's been used somewhere else, but I haven't heard of it.
I can't think of it.
I can't either.
My wife brought that up to me today, and then we talked about it, and then it was on the second page of Wall Street Journal.
I caught it on Newsweek, the Newsweek website, but it's everywhere. It's if you Google it today, Trump RICO, they're expecting possibly the DA Willis from Georgia could announce as early as the 15th of this month if this is going to happen. Interesting. We will keep.
It puts a different. I mean, I don't think that people realize that Donald Trump has basically been arrested 3 times and is on parole on 3 separate charges, soon to be 4. I mean, I don't think that people think of an indictment as the same. It's like, they're so live PD, you got to get slung down and, you know,
It's the same as being brought in on a dope charge at night, seeing the judge the next day, read your
yep,
charges, and you plead guilty or not guilty, and you're given a court date.
yep. But my whole thing is this. So Trump hasn't been forced to take any mugshots.
They said because he was a recognizable enough figure.
Or you going to
I
tell me
think.
fucking like Johnny Depp or all these, fucking Nick Nolte? Like, you going to tell me all those, like, nobody knew who the fuck Michael Jackson was? You
Yeah,
know?
good point.
I think that's bullshit.
I'd have done it
Like,
anyway. Fuck it.
huh?
I would
I
have done
would
it
have,
anyway. 3
I would have,
times,
fuck, man. I
4
would,
next month or
I
next
would
week.
fucking, if you're going to fucking, if you're going to play the game, man, you got to play the game.
Yep.
And they're saying that, and then he has the audacity to act like he's being singled out and he's getting fucking special treatment. You're not. There should be 3 mug shots of you right now that I can look at, because I goddamn know that if you go Google my ass for mug shots, you'll find plenty. And I look the same in every one of the motherfuckers.
No convictions. Wasn't that your quote?
That's right. Never convicted.